Yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm cutting weeds for our cow. And guys, today I have a story to tell you guys as I'm doing this about how Africans use, especially my village or my tribe, used to incarnate the dead or immortalize the living. Yeah, this is an interesting story. It has a lot of some interesting, instances, and stay tuned because I'm going to have a bit rest and narrate the story for you guys. Yo guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is I Am Harry channel, and wherever you're watching us, I do appreciate. And for those who are watching without subscribing, kindly subscribe because I need you guys. I have got a lot of village stories and also African stories about maybe our culture, how we used to live. Like today, I have an amazing story. This is an interesting story of how Africans used to incarnate the dead or to immortalize the living. Yes, that is an interesting topic, and I'm going to tell you maybe the reasons why this was done, and it's still even working. Like there are a lot of people that are still doing it, so make sure you hit subscribe button and don't forget to hit that notification bell because every time I do an upload you should get notified. Yeah, so guys, welcome to the story. Yeah guys, today I'm talking you about this incarnation story in African culture, and this is the immortalization of the living. So this thing is still being done here in my village, and it's something that is quite strange because it means that people who are dead are still living, in the spirits or in the bodies of the living people. Like right now, like me, I could be living my life, but in the real sense I'm carrying the spirit of a dead person who died maybe some years ago. Yeah, so this is an interesting story. So how this was done or how this was achieved is that when a newborn baby, when there was a newborn in a family, they maybe like 3 days later, the grandmother or the aunt would come and hold the baby. Now when this was being done, this or how this was done is that now maybe the grandmother or the grandfather would call after the names of the dead people from that family. Yeah, until the baby or the newborn sneezed or cried. That is now how they seal it, that this baby has been called after this person, meaning the baby would be living or carrying the spirit of that person. Yeah, that is it. It's quite interesting, and it seems like a, a fiction, but it's happening here in the village. So the reason why this was done is this. African believe in taboos and curses. So maybe let's say your great grandparent did something that is generating now curse. The curse is haunting your family right now, or this generation at the moment. So they need somebody who was called after that grandfather to do the initiation ceremony, which was meant for forgiveness in a process called pouring of libation, which was meant to appease the dead, the spirits and the gods, to forgive this person that this person did this, which was against the norms of the culture or the acceptable behaviors in the culture. And now the curse is hunting the innocent, which is the generation that never knew anything about what their person did. So this was really, or the purpose for this calling after the dead or incarnation of the dead was to use in stopping curses, seeking for forgiveness from the villains. Now let's say when there is a curse in a family, they will try to find out, the elders from that family will sit down and try to access all the past information about their great grandparents. And when they get that maybe this specific great grandparent did this to this other person, this is now the reason for this curse. Now they have to look for a person who was called after that grandparent, the villain and the victim. So when they found now the living person who was called after the same person, they would use now those two people for forgiveness, to do the initiation ceremonies for forgiveness, and also to do the pouring of libations, where milk or beer was used in pouring on the graves, or where these people, maybe the villain, especially the victim, is believed to have been buried. Yeah, so that is the reason why this was done. And one of the things that is now a bit challenging of this is that it has its own advantages and disadvantages. Advantage is that it can be used in stopping the curses, meaning if there is a curse emanating from someone who lived before you guys, it can be used to appease the spirit and the god, and the curse will stop. Like here in my village, we had a family that had like 5 daughters, but these daughters, they would Jew guard every night. So you can imagine, during the day they are playing well, they are very healthy, very okay, but during the night they started chewing gad. And chewing gad is not for human beings, it's only for animals. I think ruminous animals, or what? Yeah, I think that. So you can imagine. So this behavior was very strange, and the elders from that family had to sit down and try to discuss what is happening. And they found out that their great grandparent stole, someone's cow in the forest and slaughtered it, and made it to look like the animal, or the cow, was attacked and killed by wild animals. But in the real sense, he slaughtered someone's cow and ate the meat. He failed to confess, he died, and later on, the curse is haunting the family, and the elders had to sit and try to solve it. And when they found out now that this person, or this person stole this other person's cow, they had to bring, to look for the people now, the living people who was called after this, the villain and the victim. And they did the initiation ceremony, and these kids are now okay. They're not chewing gad anymore. The curse has stopped. So that is one of the advantages of this incarnation of the dead in African village. And one of the disadvantage that is even making a lot of people are really avoiding it, they're not doing it anymore, is that the problem with this is that the spirit of that person you are called after would live in you like wholly. Your behaviors, your characters, everything with you will be, or will resemble, the person you are called after. Now imagine that you are trying to live your life, and the spirit of the person who is long gone, like he is dead many years ago, is now controlling you. You're trying to live your life, and this person is living in you. For example, we've got many people here in the village who do not want to marry. They do not want women. And like naturally, as a man, when you see a woman, of course, you should admire. That is like a natural instinct. But now there are some people who do not want it. They do not want anything to deal with women. Reason is they were called after people who had such same behaviors. They never got married. So meaning that the person called after that same person, of course, will not get married. Yeah, you will just live your life celibacy, you'll die single, and that is one of the disadvantages. And this is very serious because it's affecting a lot of family. Maybe sometimes you've got only one son, and this son is called after the person who never married, meaning that your son will not marry. So you can imagine now there will be nobody, to take the name of your family or your family into the future generation. So also, maybe let's say the person had some maybe weird behaviors, maybe he was too aggressive, he loves, maybe he was a drunkard, like, all those reckless behaviors. So the same person would emulate. You will resemble the same behaviors and the life of the person you are called after. Even if it got to a point that maybe they committed suicide, even you will just lead a miserable life, and maybe at the end you will end up taking your life. So that was the disadvantage, and that is one of the things that is making this no to be highly, avoided by many people right now. But there are some people who still do it. They risk it because but most of the Africans right now are becoming Christians, and Christianity daily prohibits or damn this. Christianity do not encourage this, it discourages. So since most of the people are becoming Christians, so it means they are stopping this behavior. But this is one of the interesting or part of the culture of Africans. And yeah, that is it. I hope I did it in a way that it's well understood. If it's not well understood, maybe I'll try to explain it in a bit longer video next time. Yeah. So guys, that is the story of the day. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, don't forget the notification bell, because you will get notified every time I upload a new video. Yeah, wait for my next African story. These are the stories that can be filmed or captured in a video. It needs to be narrated. So those are the stories that I'm going to do about how Africans used to live, and maybe what is still happening in African villages. So see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.